Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Real Madrid Hub again. I'm your host, Dr. JOTA, and today we have a bunch of things to talk about right after that super victory against Valencia. I mean, it was a crazy game, and I don't know if you all had the chance to watch the game, but it was nuts, man, because we were not doing, an incredible job. So it was not going, perfect. It was not happening what we actually wanted to happen. And Valencia was dominating the whole game. We were having a lot of problems. We were struggling to get the ball out of our side. And all of a sudden, right quick, when Camavinga came into the field, the thing changed completely. And then Real Madrid was able to go through and score 2 goals, and of course to get the 3 points that put us in the top of the standings for now, which is of course a very good thing. There are a lot of details, there are a lot of aspects we should highlight from this game, but let me tell you a bunch of them. We can talk about them, and then we can keep going with the most updated stuff that we have for now, because it is a lot of stuff right now going on, because next Wednesday we have to play against Mallorca. It's a very difficult game, as every single game in La Liga, but of course it is a different way to face off Mallorca when you are top in the standings than when you are or just lost the last game and you don't even know what you're doing, like for example a FC Barcelona similar situation or something like that. So let me highlight a bunch of things about the game, and then we are going to get into the details of today, because there are a bunch of stuff that is going on right now regarding to Real Madrid we have to talk about. So, okay, let's get started with the game last night. It was an incredible game. The first bad news, though, that we had in the game, it was in the minute 26, Carvajal had to go to the bench because apparently he had the problem in one of the calves. We still don't know, but apparently, according to the latest rumors, Carvajal might be out of the squad for 1 month. And the problem with this player, it is that it's not the first time, because last season was incredibly bad. He had a lot of problems, he had a lot of struggles, and all of them were related to injuries and stuff like that. But to make the things worse, the right side, the right back position, the right side positions in Real Madrid right now is so weak, and we actually only can count on one single player, which is Lucas Vázquez. And the problem with that, it is this season is not going okay with Lucas Vázquez, because he's having a lot of mistakes, he's a little bit unfocused. And for example, in the goal of Valencia yesterday of Hugo Duro, you saw how the ball bounced in his head and then deflected completely the trajectory, and then Hugo Duro scored to Real Madrid the first goal. So it was not only that, in Inter de Milan he was in the starting 11, but the main function, the main role he was supposed to play in that game, it was to be another defender, but also another attacker, another forward. But he didn't work in neither of those, right? He didn't do a great job, and finally he was replaced by Carlo Ancelotti over the whole game. So to me, this is not a very good perspective, because if you think about it, if we don't have any other replacement for Dani Carvajal, it's gonna be so bad for Real Madrid, because if you have to place Lucas Vázquez in the right side, in the right back of Real Madrid, I don't know if that is the right option, the right choice, when actually it's the only choice that we have, right? But it's not accurate enough for Real Madrid. But aside of that, aside of the injury of Dani Carvajal, like I said, the first 65 minutes of the game, Valencia dominated the whole show, and in my opinion, they really deserved the first goal, and actually they deserved to win the game until that time, because they were, Real Madrid was kind of lost. We lost completely the midfield. Luka Modric was not having a good game. To me, he was kind of tired. Lack of creativity, lack of ideas. He, in my opinion, didn't know how to get rid of the Valencia pressure in the midfield, and we failed completely. And the other aspect, it was the defense. And Carlo Ancelotti reminded every single person in the press conference, the defense has to be more aggressive. right, has to be forwarded than, I mean, farther away from our own goal, farther away from Courtois, because it doesn't make any sense to have the back line super close to our goal, and we are missing in that aspect. We are missing a lot this season to Rafa Varane and also Sergio Ramos. So that is another aspect we have to improve, we have to work on as of today. And that is where all these struggles came up from for Real Madrid during the whole game yesterday. I mean, Valencia was a super intense team. They were very organized. And the other thing I have to highlight, and it is not good for Real Madrid, it is we are still trying to move forward laterally, like, you know, passing horizontally, very sideways. I mean, passing sideways all the time. No vertical passes, no more straight through plays and things like that. Things that we are in really need, just because we have players like, for example, Vinicius Jr. is the kind of player that is ready to go as soon as he receives the ball. But if nobody sends him the ball in one or two touches, you are missing the chance. And the problem is with players, with teams like Valencia, who are able to reorganize the whole defense, I mean, right quick, it is a problem because you are losing the advantage that you can have from the sharp counterattacks and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was the problem yesterday. If you don't have anybody who is able to connect with people like Vinicius Jr. or even Benzema or even Gareth Bale when he's on, my opinion is we are losing a lot of time and we are wasting a lot of time trying to build up plays to create counterattacks, really dangerous counterattacks and things like that. So that is where all the struggles for us came up from last night against Valencia. But all of a sudden everything changed when Camavinga came on the bench. My opinion is everything changed. I mean, Camavinga, unlike Luka Modric, is a very super fast guy. He has super long legs, which allows him to, you know, run all the way to the rival area, I mean to the rival side, to the rival goal right quick in a couple steps, and then connect with the different people, the different players that he has ahead of him in the attack. So that's why we saw way more the Vinicius Jr. and Benzema in the last minutes of the game, because we had in the midfield to Camavinga, who was able to connect with these guys. The decision making process in him is just amazing, and he doesn't need to touch the ball, you know, 4, 5, 6 times. He received the ball, he dribbled maybe, and then he passed the ball. Whoever it is too, you know, that is the point. So if you get faster, if your decision-making process is faster or something like that, we will take advantage of a lot of back lines from a lot of teams, and we will be able to score more goals and create more danger, because a player like Vinicius Jr., who is super fast guy, in one-on-one situations is super vertical. He drives through and get the ball. He's able to do a bunch of stuff that nobody else can do. My opinion is you have to connect with him all the time, but not in 5, 6 touches of the ball. In maybe 1 or 2 touches, that's it. And drop the ball and pass it to Vinicius, that's it. Even when you receive the ball in the midfield, you already have to know, before to put your chin up, you have to know up front, where is he? And then send him the ball right quick. To me, Toni Kroos in this aspect is way better than anybody else. But fortunately, we were lucky and we, climbed up the score and we were able to get the 3 points, which is, to me, another very important victory, because Valencia will be one of the most competitive teams this year for La Liga. So very good news for Real Madrid. And now I'm going to talk to you about a bunch of, the latest updates that we have for you all guys, because for example, today Toni Kroos was on the training ground back, and doesn't mean though he will be back against Mallorca or at some point, at some point soon, maybe these days, maybe next weekend or something like that. No, it'll take still a little bit more time for him to get back. But let me tell you, Toni Kroos is getting closer to the full recovery process and then get back on track and get back to the squad. But it's still a long process. His injury is not like any other injury. He can say, okay, I'm good to go, so let's go back. No, he has to make sure he's fully recovered to get back, because this injury, the here, it is not like any other. So that is number one. Number two, Real Madrid ahead of the class against Mallorca that we have on Wednesday. I mean, had the practice today and all the players were there. I mean, there was no time to rest for Carlo Ancelotti, and all of them were in the training ground this morning, which is of course very good news. And the last news I have for you all, guys, is the super insane crazy market price of Erling Haaland, because it might become a problem for Real Madrid to sign the Norwegian player next year. But I mean, let me tell you what, in 2 years, according to Transfer Market, the market price of Erling Haaland has gone through 5 million all the way up to 143 million. No, it's $1 million, American dollars. So you can imagine this, how his market price has been evolving over the last 2 years, and that is because his performances are great. All the goals that he's scoring right now, I mean, these numbers are absolutely insane, and to me this price reflects in a very good way, in a very loyal way, the way he's playing on the field, the way he's overplaying every other single player, and all the data, all the numbers, all the stats that he's getting right now are reflected right now in that market price. So it is not a surprise at all, and to me really makes sense, because this price is always a price for players that really perform incredibly good, and that is the case of Erling Haaland. Might that become a problem for Real Madrid to sign Erling Haaland? I mean, if he's worth about $143 million, not at all. To me, Real Madrid has been saving a lot of money, and this year that we were not able to sign Kylian Mbappe, it is even more. I mean, we have more reasons to sign Erling Haaland, because the 200 million euros we were going to throw on the table for the French player are going to redirect for Erling Haaland the next year. So to me, shouldn't be any problem, and the good news is Erling Haaland is willing to sign for Real Madrid. So regardless how many teams out there are really interested in signing Erling Haaland, to me, the Norwegian player, his first choice, his first pick is Real Madrid. So shouldn't be any problem with that. So other than that, guys, let me remind you all that we are top in the standings right now. Valencia actually was the other side that was trying to top the standings yesterday, but after the victory of Real Madrid, we are 3 points ahead, and of course all the things are going right in the right direction right now for Real Madrid, which is of course a very good news. In Champions, we are as well in a very good situation, in a very good moment, so we are doing the things very good in a very accurate way. So hopefully on Wednesday we can win to Mallorca and keep moving forward in the La Liga, and of course keep getting bigger the distance between us and of course the rest of the competitors. So let's see what happens, guys.